Marete ashe o yo yo, marete ashe ay ay ay. Thanks and praise, much love and respect, dissidents. Welcome back. Going in hard on this Terrence Howard coming into the studio of Joe Rogan and unleashing a fascinating enigma that I'm just going to call it was. He had said so many other things. We're going to oversimplify. We're going to call it the two squared enigma, which encodes Ratatusker, which encodes the talking carrot, the scar rot that talks. This is quite fascinating for me because with the new arrangement of the primes, which is not exactly the symposium, I'm going to talk about the symposium, but I need people to remember that is an old arrangement. That's not what you're looking at here. That's an old lineup with the tarot cards. But in that arrangement, it was the second speaker, speaker number 2, who spoke the hypocrisy that caused the frenzies, that caused the hiccups of Pausanias. There's a great amount of court intrigue that I have never talked about on my channel because it doesn't really pertain to the big project. But he's actually making a veiled threat to Agathon, the host of the party, because he and Agathon, because he had a pederastic relationship with the host of the party when he was young. Now, those characters are not mapped out in their seating arrangement here, so it's very confusing. But this was the card for Pausanias because his muse is going to be the muse Cleo because he is the lawgiver. And he's dragging history up into the room. He's telling a eulogy that is inspired by Cleo, the muse of history. And he's triggering people, the listeners, into a fit because of the level of hypocrisy. The square root of 2, the Terrence Howard is barking up the tree of the Ratatusker spell is encapsulated in the second speaker in the symposium. It causes a fit of frenzies, and Terrence called it the fostered lie. Go read Pausanias' eulogy. And I'll flash you a graphic. The Ashley Babbitt spell was reinforcing this fostered lie from the second speaker in the Pausanias, and it's all rooted in Terrence Howard's the square root of 2, Ratatusker, and what is underneath this card in the new arrangement, not from the symposium, but in this new arrangement, when I cancel out the 2 for the sake of the 29, it collapses to a 2 again, over and over and over. This enigma is quite profound because the Aeon card is Bugs Bunny. This is Bugs Bunny. This is the Scarota. This is the carrot that will not tell its story until Terrence Howard comes in the studio and gives everybody a reenactment of Roots, where Denzel Washington would not make a meep as he's getting his lashes placed on his back. Mu culpa, mea culpa. This is a veiled apology. This is a veiled apology, and it's fueled by the pressure of Jupiter, inappropriately oversized in this Gemini situation, this Gemini ritual. Gemini has a minor decan of the Lepus constellation. It's a bunny rabbit. Look very closely at this bunny rabbit, this Ratatusker, whispering right here into the ready at hand, whispering a riddle, an enigma. I've discovered a great many things with this new arrangement of the Enneagram, but I have found the MK of the MK Ultra. And Terrence Howard sitting in that studio talking to our buddy, Joe, it's all good. God bless those souls. But the institutions that they are embodying is something else. And it is larger than the individual. It is way above our heads, way above our pay grade, but it maps out perfectly. Beta. Mu is shaped like a U. Gemmel. Bug. Bunny. Bugs Bunny. This is the Hornavian group of Gabriel. It is in the shape of a spear or a carrot. This is the season of the bugs. This is the cicada spell, y'all. And he just whispered the execute order 66 launch code for the square rootAla, the scar from roots that'll tell you to get up off your ass and get to fucking work, y'all. It's some Tuatha De Danann technology right here. This also hails back to Blair Witch. I'm going to flash a graphic with Blair Witch. Let's not forget about the unibooger hanging off the end of the nose right here. This is the droplet of vitriol. One more thing. This one, I got to be so fast. So much information. It's just too much. This is the epitome of complex Enneagram correspondence and decoding. I am finding, because I'm at this level of advancement, I can now extract all of the cartoons. All of them. Ghostbusters, G.I. Joe, Autobots, Decepticons, freaking My Little Pony. It's all right here. And it was more complicated as children. Today's cinema is spoon-fed ice cream for simpletons. Today's cinema is ice cream for simpletons. It's there's nothing complicated about it. They're losing their touch. Either that, or I am inside of a demographic tunnel that gets more complicated as I look back on my culture exposure. This pattern might be set up for the generation after me. They might see the same pattern from their perspective, and it's just my reality tunnel that benefits from the more complex decode when I look further and further back in my childhood cultural process. Because that's the way you would build the mental palace that would lead somebody to these conclusions. You would make it easy at first with more and more rewarding epiphanies, more enriching as they become more and more complex over time. And then the magnification of sophistication has that much more psychological overbearing on you when you think back and say, God bless Fred from Scooby-Doo is this chariot card. But he wouldn't have been the chariot card in the other arrangement. He's the chariot card in the primes. He is the individual with the shadow of envy, and his entire iconography is this card undeniably. I think her name's Thelma, the one who loses her glasses. This lust card is holding the cup, holding the chalice, holding the glass up high. This is occupation, occupation. When George Floyd was killed, it was under that neon sign that matches Joe Rogan's studio. Dark coincidence. Call it what you want. It's a dark coincidence, but it's psychically, it's a hand in a glove. Cup, food, above the scene. Iconoclastically perfect. This is generally the ghost, or this is generally the ghost, the masked character in the Scooby-Doo plot lines. So number 6 has been vilified from our childhood. We've been programmed to see the 6 a certain way. This is Daphne. This is Scrappy. This is Scooby. Bada boom. The number 1 is always missing. I don't know. It's not a set character, so that is always a moving piece. And this is the universe card, is Shaggy. All right, I got to go. I'm running out of time. This is the Mystery Machine. I can do this with Ghostbusters and other film, but they're losing their touch, and cinema today is overly simple.